Hi guys, so in this video I will share with you my setup or my build in my archer or bow. But before that, I will share with you first how my setup quietly effective in PvP match or in this arena match. So let's take a look at this first. So my enemy has a higher level than me. He is a level 51 and I am level 49, but just keep on watching and see how can I be able to defeat this guy and survive. I've met a lot of players here in Arena with a higher level than me, but of course I can still be able to defeat them. Although sometimes I was being defeated by the other strong players, but before they got their victory, they have a hard time fighting with my archer. I also having a hard time to figure out what skills do I need to use and also the setup of my builds based on my playstyle. And finally I got my preset and this is what I want to share with you guys. So first, this is the setup of my skills. So I'm using Spirit Shot in my first skill and the enhancement skill is the critical shot, this one. So these skills give you a 2 dashes and in every dash, it gives you a certain critical damage. So meaning in 2 dashes, you will trigger 2 critical shots in a row. And as you can see, 25% spirit recovery will be granted. So 2 dashes is equivalent to 50% of spirit recovery. So you really need this for your spirit mana recovery. So now in second skill, I prepared to use Incursion. This second skill or Incursion give you a great distance from your enemy or to chase enemy. And after using this, the combo shot will pop up. And combo shot gives you a decent damage and 30% of spirit recovery. Now, the good thing about this combo shot skill is, you can trigger this not only by using second skill or the incursion, but by dealing critical damage to the enemy. Let me explain how you can always trigger this. As you remember in our first skill, after using the dash, it triggers critical damage, right? So you don't need to wait another 6 seconds of your second skill just to trigger this combo shot. Because dealing critical damage to enemy will also pop up your combo shot skills without using your second skill. So that's the basic analysis of first skill and second skill. And now let's proceed to third skill. In my third skill, I prepared to use this explosive shot. This is an AoE skills. AoE means attack all enemy. So you can deal damage to 2 or more nearby enemies with 152.4 damage, and it gives you another step back or a short dash. So this is another great skills for keeping a distance from enemy. If the enemy wants to knock you down or to stun you, this third skill is for immunity also. Now, always remember this, that when you are going to use this third skill, make sure that your enemy is near to you. And another thing is, we will not going to use this blast arrow. And if you are already using this blast arrow, yes, your third skill will deal the same damage regardless of the distance of your enemy. But as an archer or a bow, we just don't need to deal damage to the enemy but to disable them using their skill in a short period of time, especially when we are fighting with assassins or dual blades. That's why we need this silencing shot to silence enemy and give us opportunity to attack them while keeping the distance. Now in my fourth skill, I prepared to use resonance shot. These four skills have a 384.3 attack, and as we read this, it increases damage by holding it longer like this. So if you are going to use this gust shot skill, your damage from 384.3 will increase to 423.6 just by holding it. But for me, I think it is very unsafe to charge this fourth skill in the middle of the battle because it takes time. Same thing here in a ballet skill. You just need to hold it to produce rain of arrows. So they are both need time before hitting the enemy. That's why I switched to resonance with tailwind shot. Tailwind shot is a single target lock, but there's a lot of advantages after using these skills. First is your resonance shot fires immediately without charging it. Second is the 384.3% of your resonance shot plus 194.8% of your tailwind shot is equivalent to 579.1%. Third is if you have a higher critical stats, then you can trigger these 3 additional attributes. And now for our fifth skill is the snipe. But it depends on you if you want to use the heal with the knockdown or this one. But in PvP 1v1, I prefer to use his snipe because it can knock down enemy for 2 seconds. And also use this bullseye enhancement skill because it grants you critical damage. And again, as we remember that if we deal critical damage, the combo shots will pop up instantly. So another damage again. Other than these two, there is no critical damage that grants you. So since we are done with this, let's now proceed to the passive skills. And I'm sure you have the idea on what build we are going to use in our passives. Yes, we need critical damage. So these are the build for our passive skills. Number 1 is Marksman. Marksman has a critical accuracy of 20% and it gives you damage of 36.7%. 2 is Let the Hunt Begin. Deal extra damage when the first time you hit enemies. Damage is 330%. Third is Thrill of the Hunt. Deal extra damage when you crit. Damage is 53.0. And pang fourth, Point Blank Shot. Deal extra damage to nearby enemy. Ignores armor. Damage is 66.0. So that's it, and I hope that my suggestions give you an idea for what build you are going to use for your archer or bow. Remember that this build is based on my playstyle. That's all, and thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or suggestions, just comment down below. And by the way, shout out for Shen for asking this about my build and skills. And I hope this video will help you. So thank you, free to play players. This is Nick's gameplay.